When Young Sheldon premiered in 2017, few could have predicted the meteoric rise of Iain Armitage. Barely 9 years old at the time, the young actor stepped into the iconic shoes of Sheldon Cooper, a character beloved by millions thanks to Jim Parsons' portrayal on The Big Bang Theory. But Iain wasn't just playing a younger version of a famous sitcom genius, he was quietly carving out his own legacy. Now, at 16, with Young Sheldon having wrapped its final season, Armitage stands at a crossroads, no longer the precocious boy genius of the small screen, but a young man with a career that could go in any direction. And fans are circling back to a comment he made years ago, a bold admission that sent waves through the industry. The admission heard around the internet in a 2020 interview, now archived and still circulating on fan pages and Reddit threads. Iain made a statement that raised eyebrows and warmed hearts. "I don't think I'll act forever. I want to try directing one day, or maybe something totally different, like being a nature conservationist." It was unexpected. Hollywood was already preparing to crown Armitage as the next Timothée Chalamet or Leonardo DiCaprio. But here he was, barely into his teens, talking about stepping away from the spotlight. The candid admission felt more authentic than most PR-filtered celebrity chatter. He wasn't being coy, he was being honest. Fans respected it, and then promptly demanded more. Was he serious? Would he leave acting altogether? Or was it just youthful curiosity? Post, Young Sheldon, growing up in the public eye. With Young Sheldon ending its 7-season run, Armitage finds himself at a defining moment, the very time fans hoped for an update. He's no longer the little boy charming audiences with his perfectly timed science trivia. His voice has deepened, his face matured. He's grown up in front of millions, and yet, very little is known about what he wants next. Social media sleuths have noticed something intriguing. His Instagram, once brimming with set photos and red carpet moments, has increasingly featured nature photography, book recommendations, and subtle clues to a more introspective lifestyle. One post in early 2025 showed a quiet image of him in Patagonia, captioned simply, "The world is full of quiet places worth protecting." It sparked a fan theory explosion. Was Iain Armitage really pursuing conservation? Was his 2020 statement a foreshadowing, not just a passing thought? A glimpse behind the curtain. According to sources close to the Young Sheldon production, Iain was always a little different. Not in the way that child stars often are, but in the best way possible. He would sit with the lighting crew between scenes and ask how the equipment worked, said one crew member. Another day, he was teaching himself to play a Chopin nocturne during lunch. Even Jim Parsons, the original Sheldon Cooper, once noted in an interview, "Iain has this rare mix. He's deeply intelligent and curious, but not in a show-off way. He's just naturally inquisitive. I wouldn't be surprised if one day he's behind the camera, or off in some remote country studying butterflies." The idea of Armitage pursuing something other than acting isn't just plausible, it's almost inevitable. Fans want an update, and maybe some closure for fans. It's bittersweet. They've watched Armitage grow up, season by season. Many feel like they've known him, or at least the version of him that inhabited Sheldon Cooper's oversized intellect and undersized blazer. When Young Sheldon ended, social media flooded with messages. Where's Iain going next? Will he do another show? Is he serious about conservation work? And, most commonly, we just want an update. In an age where stars routinely overshare, Armitage's quiet dignity, his choice to keep the future a mystery, feels almost rebellious, but it has only made fans more curious. The power of reinvention. Hollywood has a long history of child stars either burning out or struggling to evolve. But Armitage seems different, grounded, intellectually restless, less driven by fame than by a genuine desire to understand the world. In a 2023 appearance on a podcast, his last major media interview to date, he said, "I think the most interesting people don't limit themselves to just one version of themselves. I want to explore all the versions I can be." It wasn't a direct update, but it said enough. So, what now? Here's what we do know. Armitage is reportedly taking a gap year, though in his case, it involves international travel, mentorships with documentary filmmakers, and volunteering with wildlife programs in Central America. He's quietly enrolled in online courses in environmental science and film editing, a dual path that mirrors his long-standing interests. There are whispers of a short film in development, not one he's starring in, but one he's writing and directing. As one fan put it in a viral comment, "Young Sheldon grew up, but Iain, he's still evolving, and that's even more exciting." The legacy of a boy genius. If Armitage never acts again, he'll still be remembered as one of the rare young talents who brought depth and humanity to a character many thought couldn't be reimagined. But if he steps into directing, or into the wilds of environmental advocacy, his impact could reach far beyond sitcoms and screenplays. In many ways, his bold admission at age 11 wasn't just a comment, it was a promise to live a life fueled by curiosity, not confined by expectation. Final thoughts: the entertainment world loves a good comeback, but maybe what we need more are good continuations. Iain Armitage's story isn't over. It's just pausing for a breath, or maybe for a butterfly in the Amazon. And if he ever does return to our screens, fans will be waiting. Not just for young Sheldon, the college years, tempting though that might be, but for whatever story he chooses to tell, from behind or in front of the camera. Until then, the world, like the young star who once dared to dream of something more, will keep watching. Would you like a version styled for a magazine, like Vanity Fair or Entertainment Weekly, or a blog post adaptation?